So we wanted to do a follow-up video about our fridge and its performance and some of the issues we've been having and how we feel like we've resolved the issues now. So initially when we had the van, it came with the fridge, it came with a service battery at the back. It was only an AGM battery. As it turned out, there was a dual battery isolator between the front crankring battery and the service battery, and that wasn't actually charging. So slowly the back battery was going down, and we didn't have any battery monitors or anything at the time. So we all just had to slowly sort of figure this all out. And so what we did, we replaced that dual battery isolator, but we still had problems. So we decided, oh, maybe we need a DC to DC charger. So we got a DC to DC charger. We added another battery, but we were still having problems, especially at night time, where it's like the fridge wasn't performing, and we couldn't figure out exactly what was going on. We definitely had improvements with the charging that we had, but the fridge was still going through these lulls, especially at night time. So then eventually we thought, oh, well, if we get lithium batteries, those lithium batteries have a higher charge voltage, so we thought that would solve the problem. And though we did notice some improvement, we still had problems with the fridge, and then one of the control modules went out. So we thought, oh, after all this time, it was a problem with the control module. So we replaced the control module, and then there was an improvement, but it wasn't really solving the problem, especially at night time. So we just sort of carried on like that, tried to keep the batteries as high as we could, and then another control module went on us. So we thought, oh my God, didn't we get another dud control module? So we replaced that control module. When it came time to install that, we put that control module in when the batteries are about half full. So the voltage of the batteries was a pretty decent 12.7 volts, but it still wasn't doing anything. So we thought then must be something wrong with the fridge. So we didn't know for sure it was a control module, but we did buy a new one. And so we took it to the fridge guy. He tested it with the new control module in, and he said there's nothing wrong with your fridge, there's something wrong with your power supply. So we were real scratching our heads, hey, what's going on? So what we decided to do, we did a full voltage drop test from the batteries to the fridge to see what the heck is going on. So we checked that from the batteries through the Smart Battery Protect through to the fuse box, the voltage drop was 0.1 of a volt, which is pretty acceptable. And then from the fuse box to this fridge power supply box, which also takes power from 240 volts because it's a two-way fridge, but it goes into this box. And so there's another 0.15 of voltage drop between this fuse box and then here. So we're already up to 0.25 of a voltage drop. Then as the power processes in this box itself, that has a 0.45 voltage drop just in the box. So it's not actually going anywhere, it's just the box processing it. So you add another 0.45 voltage drop on that. And then from the box to the fridge, we had another 0.4 voltage drop. Now that was quite a lot. The rest of the system was probably a-okay for what we could control. So we realized that we could control that cable, so we increased the size of that cable from this box to the fridge. So instead of having 0.4 voltage drop from this box to the fridge, we had 0.1 voltage drop, which was great just for that part. But we still had an overall voltage drop of 0.8 voltage drop. And so there wasn't much we could have done about the rest of the power in the system to boost up the voltage into that. So even if our voltage gets down to say 12.8 volts, this fridge is going to cut out. So even if the batteries are half full, you're not even going to be able to use your fridge, and your ice creams will melt, and then in the night time your meats will defrost, and then in the daytime they'll frost again, and you'll have that every single day, frosting and defrosting your meat. It's really bad for your meat. So so we had we had this problem we had to resolve. So what we decided to do, we decided to get a complete dedicated power supply just for the fridge. So it would take, it doesn't matter what voltage the batteries are, as long as the batteries themselves, as long as those batteries are above 12 volts, it boosts the voltage up to above 14 volts, and then it'll go through straight into this box, and then from that box in through the new cable into the fridge. So by the time it gets to the fridge, instead of being 12 volts, it's going to be more than 13 volts. And the fridge loves it. So now the fridge is constantly getting a really good voltage, and it's constantly feeling like it's got power, and it's not getting to that 12 volt cutout where it gets to at or below 12 volts and then it turns off. So you're wrecking your food, you're losing your ice creams, you're losing your meats in your fridge, and you're wrecking your control module. So now what we decided to do, I've got a this is actually a DC to DC power charger, but it also dubs as a power supply. So it goes straight from that Smart Battery Protect into this power supply, and it's set on power supply mode, and so it's pushing out whatever voltage I want, and I want more than 14 volts. So I've got it at about 14 or 14.1 volts, and so that's pushing into that box, and then from that box into the fridge. So now we don't have any problems with the fridge, or especially the freezer. So now our milks aren't going off either, and the ice creams are staying right, and all our frozen meats are staying frozen. Alright, now thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of that fridge video. Stick around for the next video and we'll talk about our Selfie Go, which is a 3G, 4G antenna setup.
Yeah.